Hello friends, welcome to my channel Creating Essence. I am Megan and I'm so glad you're here today. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about how our last homeschool year went. If you are subscribers that follow along with us regularly, you know that we switched to a year-round homeschool schedule. That is huge. That was a really big shift for us. We are just about to finish our first term of our year-round schedule, and I will be doing an update to let you know how that went. But for now, I wanted to let you know how last year went, what we liked, what we didn't, what we finished, what we didn't, and ways that we're making a change this year. Now, I really don't have anything planned. This is pretty candid. I just wanted to sit down and let you all know how it went, because I did do the full curriculum plans and let you know what we were going to do, and I will put the links to those in the info box below, and it seemed only right to let you know how all of that went. So last year my oldest was in 6th grade, my second was in 4th grade, my third was in 2nd grade, and my fourth was in pre-K. And of course we had our master distractor class of our little toddler who just turned 2 in the end of April, before the end of our school year. I had pretty big plans for last year, and I was really excited with all the preparation I had done. It was our first year really straying hugely away from the box curriculum we usually do. If you've watched many of my videos, you know I do like a Becca, and for our first, about 5 years of homeschooling, we strictly followed a Becca's full curriculum. And as the years went on, I just realized I am okay with tweaking curriculum to make it work for us. That's totally fine with me. I do that with anything, regardless. But I was having to tweak so much. I found that in 3rd grade, there was a huge shift in the language arts program from learning phonics and grammar, which is great, and the basics of the writing process, to just boom, straight into creative writing. And for some kids that works, and for others it doesn't. And I can work with that. Likewise with math, it went from fun, colorful pictures and diagrams and puzzles to just sheets of problems of all different kinds. And I can work with that, absolutely. The sort of things I couldn't work with were like the shift from their science and history programs, and health as well, where it went from very basic glossing of all topics to suddenly, boom, you are going to read in depth 7 pages, fill out entire maps as well, or diagrams of specific teeny tiny muscle and bone groups, and learn dates and numbers and Greek terminology for the science of things, which I am totally great with my kids learning that in general. But to make that huge shift from me having to supplement so much to get what I felt was really well-rounded content, to suddenly laying it all on super thick with 5 to 10 pages of daily reading in health, science, and history. And when I was doing that with 3 kids and had a preschooler and a toddler, that was just a lot. First, we switched to Apologia for science, and we liked it. But to be honest, I was burned out, and we did not do a super thorough job last year. Last year was actually our 2nd year doing Flying Creatures of the 5th Day. I had a new baby, and we just had so much going on. The beginning of last school year was the peak of my health issues, and we did not even get halfway through the book. We found we really enjoyed and were able to accomplish more with self-guided science, basically looking around us in nature and digging into it. Picking up an Usborne book, and I would read aloud while the kids would just draw on blank pages and ask questions, and they would draw what they were hearing as I read to them books about sea creatures and the planets and jungle animals and the human body, and we really just, I don't want to say that we phoned it in for science, but we very much went off the map, self-guided with science last year. Part of me thinks, what a fail. I was a teacher before I was a mom and a homeschooler, so my teacher brain screams what a deficit they must have. At the same time, my homeschool mom brain that sits with them and knows what they're doing and can have a full conversation about the bones in the hands and feet and the scientific names of different things. And when we went to the aquarium on vacation in December, and they were looking at all the different animals and went home with a list of things they wanted to learn more about, and then subsequently spent months learning about all those animals and recalling what we did on vacation, I can't think that's a fail. For history, we went totally unit studies. I really wanted to dig in to the history of the Native Americans before we got into Christopher Columbus. We really enjoyed that, but we found that the lapbooking system that I had purchased was inadequate at best. We used that as a sort of guide, but spent most of our time just getting books on the library about different tribes and reading about them. Once again, my teacher mind is screaming, what a fail of a year! What about the curriculum? What about the sequential process of things and the kids absorbing it into a greater picture and an understanding of our past? But then my homeschool mom brain really, I mean, when my kids are grabbing library books of their own about Red Cloud and Sitting Bull and talking to me about the details of Custer's Last Stand and Manifest Destiny, I mean, I really can't call that a fail. As far as health, I put together a really fun curriculum for my kids for health on the human body, using some Usborne books and a lot of online projects to go with various things. And we had a great time, but we didn't finish it. It just ended up being something that we did a couple times a month. And again, my teacher brain screams fail. But on the other hand, did we really fail? Maybe. Yep, that's probably the one that, if anything, we failed. Because of my health struggles, this last year really turned into get the core done. The reading, writing, and arithmetic, the self-guided science, the library-based history, and that was about it. I mean, our American Sign Language was a couple times a month. Our health was a couple times a month. And as much as that feels terrible, on the other hand, my kids have dug in so much for themselves about what they're interested in addition to all of their core work. I really can't be mad at that. We did great on the core subjects. We didn't do much for electives. And for the rest, I think my head is just stuck in a comparison game. I see so many other families that are super involved and doing all sorts of sports, and they're rushing all over. And my brain just thinks, am I robbing my kids of something by not doing that stuff? My kids did a lot more learning than just the books I put in front of them. And I really can't call that a fail. So as much as my teacher brain can say, wow, that was a hot mess, really looking at my life and my kids and how they've developed over the last year, I can't say that even a little bit. I hope my experience this past year in homeschooling has encouraged some of you who might feel like you're really just not cutting the mustard on the content or finishing the curriculum. But I hope you can see that there is more to the total picture, and stop comparing to the other moms on YouTube who might be posting about all their extracurriculars and co-ops and sports and things. Just accept the fact that you're doing it your own way, and that's okay. Thank you so much for sticking around today, friends. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more videos like this. Bye-bye.